Yeah.
How did we get here? How did this happen? But nonetheless,
Gracious God.
here
Okay.
we are here. What started out as just an idea to get us through COVID in the year of 2020. Our first episode took us to June 27th, 2020, and now here we are, August the 3rd, 2023. This show has reached a milestone, ladies and gentlemen. We have reached the 100th edition of the Mizzle Dub Show, but I know as you like to give us credit because we're actually doing the show and you guys are entertained by it, but
Yeah.
this show does not happen without you, the subscribers and fans support. Even if you watch for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or if you watch the whole damn show, Mizzle and I are greatly appreciative and we appreciate you guys watching us. So we
Hey,
have
hey.
sent out a lot of invites.
So yeah, we might have some guests popping in and out, but we have unveiled our new theme intro. Big thanks to my
Yes.
son. Big thanks to my son, his nephew, super dope beat maker, Zordok, along with little big brother, and also a new voice on there. If you heard, it is a fellow family member of ours, young Sam Jr. Thank you. We appreciate everybody that takes the time to help us out, give us good ideas and everything. Like I said, like Dub said, we do this for you guys. And yeah, we just love giving you the entertainment of just two guys who love to sit and talk shit about sports and about our own teams.
As we like to say, we give you guys a lot of passion, but to my brother from another who I've known for 27 years, and actually that anniversary is next month on the Saturday of the 2nd.
Wow.
So here's to episode 100. My goodness.
Sir, yes.
Insane.
Yes, sir. We did it. Like we say, most sitcoms don't even get this. Even though we're doing this on our own, but
Yeah.
some
But
people
still,
flare out at 2 episodes. Hell, some people don't make it to 50.
so to get to 100, that's pretty doggone good. So like I said, we sent in.
Yes.
Or if you just came along for the first time, still, thank you. We'll take a little trip back down memory lane, but there was actually a padded tackle football game that took place in Canton, Ohio,
It did.
that involved two different teams hitting each other. Now, unfortunately, and yes, I guess it was preseason for the game too because one side of the stadium decided to go dark as
Yeah.
the lights went out, which unfortunately takes me back to damn it, Super Bowl 47, when Beyonce and them forgot to pay the power bill and the Superdome went lights out. However, with that said, the Browns and the Jets did play a football game, and it was a pretty competitive football game for it being the first preseason game. And obviously, first preseason, you expect flags,
Oh,
and there were a plethora. Nonetheless, if I can pull it up here, which I'm going down the archives,
yes.
but the final score ended up being the Browns get the win, 21-16. Um, of course, Miss and I were live on our Instagram page
Mm-hmm.
talking about this game. But one thing we did notice, Greg Zerline is in midseason form.
Yep.
He doesn't need to kick for the rest of the preseason.
Yeah. Yeah. Send the
So
punch
you
out there.
so you can bubble wrap him. But
Yeah.
what I did like was I like Felton Jr. for the Browns. He ran the ball effectively.
Yeah.
Abanikanda rookie. He ran the ball very well. Also, Kelly, number 41 for the Browns, he ran the ball effectively well today.
Yeah.
And but also Dorian Thompson Robinson, yes, the former UCLA Bruin, got some playing, even threw a heck of a block on
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Felton's touchdown to get the Browns within two
Yeah.
at 16-14. But the Jets defense looks like it's going to be solid again. And again, the question I asked earlier was, do the Browns have an answer to be the I don't want to say, well, you could say the compliment to Nick Chubb, since Kareem Hunt is still out there as a free agent.
Yeah.
Who can be his compliment, who could be the change of pace, or who could be the quote unquote, as you said earlier, the all purpose back.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts that you saw from this preseason game in Canton, Ohio?
Well, first of all, it's just awesome to see somebody hit somebody, and it's not watching padded practices and stuff like that. So just to get the blood flowing to letting us know that football is almost here. Besides the flags being thrown, but like I said, the game was good, but it was preseason for everybody. Like you said, the lights wasn't even ready to go a full 4 quarters of football. So they decided they wanted to take a break and make things more interesting. But we all know what the preseason is all about. It's just scouting, and there's not going to be much playing. Your starters probably won't see the field until maybe game 3, and that'll probably be for like 2 minutes or one little series, and they're going to be ready, preparing themselves for the regular season. But it's good to see some of the players you don't know about out there playing good football, throwing blocks, or just putting themselves on tape for other teams to be for the practice squad, or just to see if they can bring them in for a tryout. So nothing to too much take from the week 1, because everybody's getting their feet wet, trying to adjust and make sure they're not trying to hurt themselves. So it was just a good display. Saw a lot from the Jets. Even Zach Wilson was out there throwing some nice passes out there. That one deep pass he threw was right on time. If dude would have
Right
just
on the money, yes,
and ran right through it, he probably could have got 6. But I think he misjudged it by the way he caught it. You can see that he didn't see it coming down properly. But Zach Wilson looked good. The offensive line looked good, and even with their none of their big name starters on defense, the second, third, and undrafted free agents, that everybody played good for what it to be for a week 1 preseason is what you expect, even with the flags from the referees. That's pretty much what I expected.
Here's one thing that impressed me, even though it was a preseason game, but the Browns were 7 for 13 on third downs.
Well,
that's something you can build. That's something you can build on.
Well, you tend to win games if your percentage is like that on third down.
Oh, all the time.
That's your money down.
Yeah, mostly if you are converting at a very high percentage on third down, 99.9, you normally win those games.
Yeah, that's true.
You normally do. So that was the only one for this week, but everybody else will kick it off on the week of the 10th through the 13th. As I said, there'll be 2 games on Thursday. You'll have some spread out on Friday, the 11th, and you have some spread out on the 12th. And then, of course, his team and my team, they get together again. First time they played each other in the preseason in about 2 years, which will be inside the Death Star. So
yeah, we
may go live again. Heck, I might be actually live at the game myself. You never know. Stay tuned. But we've talked about a lot of stuff in the 100 episodes of this. So, of course, it's mainly been about sports, but we've talked about movies. We talked about retirements. We've talked about tragic stuff. We even had a friend of mine, Kaya Kelly, come on and talk about the whole Roe versus Wade situation, and then she told us her story, which is, I think, still our most, viewed episode, or second most viewed episode, next to our pilot. But
movement episode.
We've had our yearly, we've had our yearly Super Bowl shows, which we will do again this year. We do our 2 Super Bowl picks. We do our homer pick and our non-homer pick, which we will do again this year. Normally, when the NFL season comes along, that's normally when you get a whole bunch of us. So, but you guys have not gotten tired of us yet, so we say thank you. The pennant races continue to heat up in Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani just continues to be ridiculous. He hit his 40th of the season, albeit in a loss as the Mariners came back to beat the Mariners, or the Mariners came back to beat the Angels 5-3 in the ninth.
Crown
And
that young man. Just crown him now. Just there's who else is on his coattails?
he said,
I mean, the man is playing outstanding baseball.
talking, but also something that you were very, very proud about was, of course, as you know, before the season starts, the NFL does their top 100 of the previous season,
Yes.
and 3 of your Raiders in the 20, which is
That hasn't been
pretty
done.
impressive for a team that went 6-11 last season.
Well, I mean, when you put the film out there, you can't deny it. I mean, Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher in the NFL, so you have to put him in the top, at least the top 20 at that. I mean, we arguably have the best wide receiver in the NFL. I don't know how Justin Jefferson has already overcrowned Devontae Adams. I mean, he still sit at the top of the pedestal. I don't think nobody's passed him yet. He still should have a rating of a 99 in Madden, but I guess he's not part of that squad no more. What can you say about Max Crosby, man? That man has been just doing this since he's been drafted. So it's good to see that he was in the 50s last year with the top 100, and that just shows you his growth. I believe, like I said earlier when we were talking, I believe if Devontae Adams was still a Green Bay Packer, he'd have probably been in the top 5 with the production that he did last year. So
Did say that.
I understand it. I get it. You know, like you said, they got to start winning. But I'm like, there's other people in the top 20 that that doesn't have winning records. So I understand the bias of being a Raider fan. You know, we get the flack every day. So it's whatever. But yeah, very proud of the squad to show that even though it was a trial and error year for McDaniels, to get three good players in the top 20, I'll live with that. And even what I'm hearing coming out of training camp, you know, reading the comments from these players, as much as everybody praised Derek Carr, it seemed like he was the problem. And they're not coming out and saying it, but if you read in between the lines of what players say, you can clearly understand. You know, Hunter Renfrow saying it's a breath of fresh air, how Jimmy commands the offense. You know, there's no divas in the locker room. Now, they could also be talking about Darren Waller as well, because Darren Waller did not show up anymore. I mean, he was never at the facility. He was always at the Aces. We understand why, because he was courting Mrs. Plume, you know, which understandable. Man got needs, you know, trying to build a family, but you are obligated to be to your organization as well. You know, not saying.
Well, here's the thing. But here's the thing, and my apologies for cutting you off as you were trying to finish your point. My apologies.
Stop it.
But here's the thing, and this always happens. You can tell that a team's body language is different.
Yep.
It is very, very different. And
Yes,
so and of course, as I've been saying verbatim, and like I said, yes, I know Jimmy has his flaws. Not a deep ball thrower. We can can dissect this and probably do a whole show on it. But here's the one thing you can't deny about James Richard Garoppolo. Yes, I know he's 4-2 in the postseason. I mean, some quarterbacks don't even have 4 wins in the postseason.
Straight up.
Let alone winning 2 games on the road in the playoffs. But here's what I do know. Almost 70% of the games that he starts, doesn't matter what team he's on, 70, which is the best, which is almost 7 out of 10 for those that don't know their math. 7 out of 10 games he wins, and that's just what it is. And plus, of course, he's coming back to an offense that he already knows. Indeed. So Josh McDaniels doesn't have to be like, okay, this is what we're running. This is the cadence.
He doesn't have to.
Garoppolo knows all that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. No. So
Yeah. And
so you can expect the rapport with the receivers to possibly be on point because Jimmy knows when to release the ball on a certain route to get it to his receiver, this, that, and the third. And plus, again, hopefully JJ does resign because, I mean, even though, of course, I'm going to support my Georgia Bulldog because
all will love to see
Zamir White can Zamir White can be that guy because, as I said a season ago, even though it wasn't shown, but as I've said, Zeus has the home run speed that JJ does not, and that's not saying JJ is not fast.
Yeah.
But Zeus can turn it into a different gear. Trust me, I know. I saw it in Athens, Georgia when he played between the hedges. He has that home run type speed.
I think he runs a what, 4.34? If I'm correct, he might be in that area, maybe a 4.4, but I believe he's a 4.3.
4.3 4.4.
Yeah, see, that's not no slouch. I mean, he's about a point second off into the one of the some of the fastest running backs, which they clock out maybe what 4.2, 4.25. So hitting a 4.3, he's outrunning some DBs in middle linebackers. Excuse me. Get him to the second gear and he can do something nice. The only thing that I need him to work on that I saw last year, because I anytime, even when I couldn't be home to watch the games, I have the NFL Plus. I come home and do my homework, and because I know we're going to be talking about some stuff. From watching the All 22, the one thing that I want him to work on more is quarterback protection, and he hits the hole just a tad bit fast. Set it up a little bit more. A couple of toss plays that he took, he could have got extra more yardage if he just set up the running. I understand in college is get the ball and go. So I've heard nothing but great things coming out of the camp that he's picked it up and he's asking a lot of questions and stuff like that. But the one thing that I know we're talking about the deep ball. The deep ball to us is when you throw the ball 50 yards, this, that, and the third. Okay. Now we know Jimmy is going to be solid between 5, 20, 25 max. Okay. But what I've been hearing out of camp is Jimmy been dropping in a lot of 35-yarders. Now, this is all good and dandy because, you're in shorts, you put pads on here or there. But if he's dropping 35 with no pressure on him, and we know how good he is if he gets on the move a little bit, he's one of the accurate quarterbacks. So
he's accurate. He when he has time.
Yes.
And when the running game's going, he is as deadly in play action as anybody in the NFL.
Yes.
That is a known fact. And not to mention, you have a stud of a tight end in Michael Mayer, which if you have not seen Michael play, go watch his Notre Dame film. And more specifically, go watch his game against the Southern California Trojans this past season, to where he torched the Trojan defense.
They couldn't stop him.
No. So you got that. Okay. Renfro is one of the best route runners in football. You know who Devontae Adams is, and you know who Myers is. So I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding why and how a lot of experts or insiders, if you will, I don't know how some of them have the Raiders penciled in winning 5 games above. There is talent on this team. Not to mention, Max Crosby always plays pissed off, but now you have a motivated and a focused and a revamped Chandler Jones, who called his own self out, basically saying, "I played like shit," and now he's extra motivated. Okay,
that's bad for the offensive line on the other team.
Then you have Marcus Peters.
Talk to him. Who is a Raider fan like his cousin Marshawn Lynch? Okay,
who is from the 510?
We got an alpha dog, brother.
And he's playing for this. And he's playing for his hometown team. Okay, not to mention, you have a very tall rookie from Texas Tech that has a tremendous wingspan.
I mean,
and he also I'm
doing it wrong. I need that put it like this. This is one of his arms combined from my elbow to his other arm, and then I'm gonna switch it to the other side, and that's him. That dude is long. long.
And not to mention, Mr. Green has some very big hands.
Yeah.
So if he tends to grip you, he might fulfill the Al Davis rule. When the first 5 minutes of the game, the quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
A lot of batted balls
With
at the,
that said,
in the trenches. And wait.
yeah,
Don't
because
forget. Don't forget. Let's go to the back end. We signed a a Super Bowl a player who just was in the Super Bowl last year. Marcus Epps.
oh, oh, oh boy,
And he is the leader. He is a younger version of what I know why they didn't re-sign Deron Harmon, who I wanted back so bad because he was the anchor of that defense last year. He kept that when things went wrong, he answered the questions, he did the interviews, and you can see that he was taking the kids under their wings. But it seems like Marcus Epps has taken that role, and he's younger. So I like that. And they're putting Nate Hobbs back in the slot. You put that young man,
which I know makes you very, very happy.
oh, very, very happy. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love because he's so good in the slot. You can think that would translate out to the outside, but it's just something about the slot is different from the outside. And I'm hearing the Jacorian Bennett from Maryland, who we talked about in our last episode. Remember, I said that was one of the players that I was keeping an eye on. I'm reading that he's out there. He might line up. It might be Peters, Bennett, Hobbs, Epps, and Morey out there with as our the corner safety thing. But I also Palomalu, Troy's nephew, he might be in that fourth safety that might be in there. What they tried to do with Jonathan Abram. And you know I like that Palomalu guy. The Palomalu. He's good. He's good. He reminds me of the guy that you guys got, Mufunga. So it's going to be interesting.
You know how those Polynesian Samoans, they play with a lot of passion when it comes to playing football. That we all know.
Oh, well, they do that, and they got great hair.
Always have great hair. Yes, indeed. I mean, the locks just flow, and I'm still amazed at how, of all the years he played, Troy never got his hair pulled out of his scalp and it was on the turf. I've never seen it. But then again, when you move as fast as he does, that's what happens.
Hair strong as Superman.
Well, he is a sponsor of Per Plus with the commercials with him and Patrick Mahomes.
Who?
I mean, the quarterback that plays for the Chiefs that you don't like, that guy.
Yeah, whatever.
That's
I'm already in football mode, brother. I'm already ready. It's you already know. I just can't wait to see Max and Patrick Mahomes go at it, man. Those two, and now we're gonna throw Tyree Wilson into it, man. Can we just? What you know? What I do? You know. Here's my dream scenario, bro. And if Patrick Graham runs it and it's done right, I know we don't run a 3-4 per se, but can you imagine? You put Max in the middle. You got Chandler Jones and Tyree Wilson out there doing the edge. With Max's motor, he's already going to command that double team. So you're going to slide that double team to the middle. So that's going to give Chandler Jones all that room to roam around with his speed, spin move. And then if Tyree Wilson can develop some kind of NFL move to get to the quarterback, I just want to see it for one play. I don't care if they don't ever do it again. I just want to see that 3-4 lineup. Give that to me, Patrick Graham. Oh my goodness. I mean, I know Max is not a nose tackle, but you know his outside motor, put that in the middle. The way he get off the ball, the center ain't going to have a chance to get in his stance. Max is going to already be in his shoulder pads by the time he's lifting up to get into his block stance because Max is that damn fast. I just want to see it one time. That's all I ask for. One time. Just one time.
Well, I am going to say that when the Patriots were winning Super Bowls, they did run a 3-4 defense. People tend to forget that.
Which it
You
was
had
Richard
Seymour and
Seymour. Yes. You had Will Ford.
Seymour, Vince Wilfork, and I forgot the other.
I don't know because Will Fork was the middle, the nose tackle. Richard Seymour was
Correct.
pretty much Max Crosby. Who the fuck
Mm-hmm.
was hurt? Because Teddy Bruschi was a linebacker.
Bruce
Was it
McGinnis,
Harris?
Vrabel.
Was it not Harris? Who's the guy that did the NFL Network? Curly short hair. Was he a linebacker as well? McGinnis was a linebacker. Willie played linebacker. Damn.
Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi,
Vrabel.
Willie McGinnis, Roosevelt, the other linebacker.
Yes. You had Rodney Harrison, Ty
I
Law,
know in the I know Ty Law, Loyal Malloy,
or Malloy.
and then later on you had Asante Samuel,
Yeah, you added
and
him.
then earlier you had Otis Smith in the secondary.
Yes, indeed. Now, here's the thing. We can name all the other shit, but we can't name the next motherfucker that was lining up on the line. We didn't name the linebackers, the secondary, and the ones who came later. But we can't figure out who was lining up next to Will Fork and Seymour. Was it Van? No, it wasn't Van. No, God damn it. All right.
No, it wasn't Calvin.
Pull up the roster.
I want to say at least for the first Super Bowl, I really want to say Ted Washington was in the middle.
Ooh. Okay.
And I could be wrong, but for some reason I just see Ted Washington in that middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to me, Goose.
Well, let me go to the first Super Bowl season. Let me go there, and just talk about who their defense is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking to our fans.
Let me go. Let me see.
One of our subscribers while we're doing this. This is what the good thing about being live. We in our show, we do what the hell we want on this thing.
Well, like I said, we did send out invites. Hopefully somebody will come through. But if not, me and Mizzle will just then just rock it ourselves.
We do what we do. And while you're looking that up and not the jump the sport real quick, can you imagine all the upcoming boxing events that can be going down here for the next 3 years? Brother, we're about to be spoiled with tremendous boxing coming. If they do it right. If Haney stopped ducking Shakur Stevenson, I would be so happy. I'll be so happy to see Shakur Stevenson get his pay-per-view love, just like Bud just got his love.
And Steven and Shakur wants it bad. He wants Devin Haney bad, and it's like, come on, Bob Arum.
So
okay,
see, here's the thing.
You saw what you.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
ahead, Bob. You just saw what you missed out on. Okay, which the Spence and
$21.5 million at the door, including box office. The 6th rated highest pay-per-view boxing event. And Floyd Mayweather holds what? Three of them. 3 out of the 6.
How many does Tyson have?
1. Because I believe I want to say either the Holyfield. No.
Was it
Tyson didn't make the top 5.
Really? Wow.
I think Pacquiao and Floyd, Conor McGregor and Floyd, and I believe it was Earl Spence and Bud. Damn it, I just read it a second ago on Twitter. But yeah, to be in the top 10 of the most viewed and bought pay-per-views. But see, here's the thing. Boxing fans been wanting this for a long time. You can instantly go on my Facebook page, and the moment I posted about the fight and how close we were to it, the amount of people that were talking about it. And another thing is, a lot of people, this fight got a lot of friends arguing with each other because you had the Spence crowd and you had the Bud crowd. And like I said, it I was like when the Warriors play the Sixers. Everybody know that when that happens, I don't root for either one of them.
I'm a fan.
I sit back,
He's the fan.
crack open the brewski. That's how I was watching this boxing match.
He tortures himself.
Yeah, literally.
So
yeah.
to add on to that, to add on of that, I'm going to say that again. 650 buys, and
Wow.
and it's 150 buys, as possibly as much as over.
We wanted this fight.
Like Bob Aaron could have been your money, Bob. Review.